Hey, welcome back, everybody. Punahou School is known for a lot of things and a lot of incredible world champion athletes. Now there's another one. His name is Hale Motuapuaka. He's a football player, but it's perhaps what he does outside the field that earns him the biggest headlines.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by 7-Eleven Hawaii, your neighborhood store.
Let's go! When the Buff and Blue of Punahou suit up on game day, the fuse is lit long before the first snap. And you don't have to look any further than to Hale Motuapuaka to provide the fire. At 6'1", 270 pounds, Motuapuaka is lighting it up this season. The converted linebacker now anchors a defense that has allowed only 23 points per game. And the gridiron isn't the only place where Hale is lighting it up. When he's not wowing the crowds at Aloha Stadium, Hale moonlights as a world champion fire knife dancer. His Hawaii strong fire burns to represent his Polynesian strong culture and bloodlines, something he loves to put on display, whether it be at the stadium or on stage.
Fire dancing, I do it mostly because so I can perpetuate the culture, the Polynesian culture. Something I love to do, something that's been done along with my family and my friends, and it's something I always wanted to do and something I love to do.
And that love was carved out from his youth. Hale started fire dancing at the age of just 4 and sharpened his act to near perfection, capturing 6 world championships while competing at the Polynesian Cultural Center.
I've been competing since I was 4, so like winning for me was good, but I just did it mostly for the culture. But I was super grateful for everyone, like the judges, PCC, for allowing me to get that title. But other than that, I'm just there to perpetuate the culture and to do it for the love.
Using his talents, he's been able to work enough and save enough since his childhood to help pay his own tuition to one of the most prestigious schools in the nation. And now, while getting an elite education, he also provided an education this past fall, sharing his passion with the student body and faculty at the school's annual Flaming Pea ceremony, a near half-century-old Buff and Blue tradition.
Oh, it was exciting because I haven't fire knifed for maybe about a month before that, and I was super nervous. It was right after the game, but when I heard that crowd cheering for me, I just got right back into it. I was just so happy.
While juggling full-time duties with his football team and with his church, he has to put his dancing art on hold for the season. But he picks it right back up after the final game by performing at various locations across Oahu. And while learning how to play defensive line this past season, he discovered that his fire knife talents go hand in hand with his performance under the Friday night lights.
I guess a little bit, just trying to be quick with my hands all the time, like trying to hit off the offensive lineman's blocks. I guess it kind of goes into part with fire knife dancing a little bit.
Watching proudly from the stands, his mom Lisa, who thinks his early days spent perfecting his craft is paying dividends, and not only toward his tuition and his football, but toward his entire approach to life.
I love to see what Hale does. I love to see how he works, and he drive hard and try to meet that level of excellence in everything that he does. From the time that he was a young child, he always strived for excellence by starting at a very young age in competition, I think that's what helps him to drive, and seeing him grow and work hard. And I love to see what Hale does. I love to see how he works, and he loves what he does.
Wherever his talents and his education take him, Hale wants no more than to use his art form to continue to promote his culture, his values, and humility.
All I can say is wow. This kid touches the hearts of several communities, from his own alma mater to neighborhoods from the east to the west. This kid, Hale, is just an exemplary individual. And for 7-Eleven Hawaii, we try to extend our hands and hearts to all the communities throughout Hawaii, and Hale does just that.
And while it stands tall and proud for Punahou School, for Hale, this giant P will always be more about passion, perseverance, and Polynesian pride.
I just want to make sure that the culture never dies and that it's passed along from generation to generation. Just as how I was inspired, I want kids younger than me and the future generations to be inspired as well.
How they say sometimes you play with fire, you get burned. Not Hale. He played with fire, and look where it got him. Great story. And stick around, everybody. When we come back, getting you fit and ready to hit the holidays head on.